In late 2006, due to a traumatic event, my work took a turn in a radically new direction. Time has made my memory a little hazy on the details, but luckily I recounted the event in my journal. Keep in mind that this changed my life and the way I photograph, and please excuse me if I have some difficulty getting through it. It seemed like any other night, maybe a little warm for November, but everything appeared normal to me. I was alone, driving through Whitehall on my way up to Fort Ticonderoga to see Randy perform in a reenactment the next day. I took a right turn onto Abear Road and drove a couple miles before I saw something that I will never unsee. I was terrified as I saw standing next to the road a creature. It was close to 8 feet tall, too big to be human. Covered in fur and standing upright, the creature probably weighed about 400 pounds. For a brief moment, our eyes locked before he disappeared back into the woods. I'm not sure who was more afraid of who, but one thing I am sure of is that I'll never forget that face. I can still see it vividly when I close my eyes. It was eerily human, flared nostrils, thin lips, and piercing eyes. My Bigfoot encounter changed me. I became obsessed with the creature, reading everything I could about the elusive beast. My interest led to a friendship with Bigfoot expert Paul Bartholomew. I began assisting Paul and eventually started joining him on stakeouts, hoping to come face to face with the Bigfoot again. It was on these stakeouts that I saw a kind of beauty in the trees, and I started to take pictures of the environment around me. It was not my original intention, but I soon realized that these photos would totally reinvent the genre of nature photography, which had long been left dead by contemporary photographers. I was able to breathe new life into nature photography, proving that pictures of trees weren't just for wall calendars and postcards. I was able to tell the world that nature photography could be full of life and mystery. Nature photography could be a bit playful, and maybe even a bit creepy. That about brings us up to the main event, the unveiling of the first image from my new series. But first, there's a ferocious critter in the swamps, the likes of which you've never seen before. Meet Goodyear's Mud Rudder ATV tire. Whether at work or play, you'll have the ultimate mud riding experience with the long-lasting Goodyear Mud Runner. Like any good amphibian, the Mud Runner is completely at home in the mud. The computer-enhancing tread design keeps it from clogging, while the slotted lugs give it more biting edge to help prevent you from getting bogged down. With its unique ability to thrive in the mud and its rugged, puncture-resistant tread, Goodyear's Mud Runner is unquestionably king of the swamp. Now the moment you've all been waiting for. I'm sure you're all excited. Before I show it, let me preface this image by saying this. It took me a long time to focus back on photography. I was pretty involved in the hunt for Bigfoot, but thanks to some state-mandated therapy, I was able to get past it and return to my true calling. Now you've all seen that I've created 3 monumental bodies of work, all dealing with totally different subjects, which makes my achievements that much more extraordinary. But there is something very similar in all 3, perspective. And as an artist, I am always trying to evolve, so the only natural thing for me to do was to switch up my perspective, which is why I'm proud to show you all, for the first time, the very first image from my brand new series. Photos I think a dog would take. You see, I feel that for too long, photographs have been taken from a human perspective. But what if they weren't? What would you get back if you gave a dog a camera? This series will answer that question, so keep your eyes open. Thanks a lot, everybody. Take care. Thank you.